Now coming to next another microwave passive device, that is E-plane T junction, and it is also called as voltage junction, right? Now this is your structure of E-plane T junction, that is port 1. Here also it contains 3 ports, port 1, port 2 and port 3, right? Now coming to its axis, right, coming to its axis, there we have cut under H plane T, there we have cut along its width, right? Now here we are cutting along its broader dimensions, right? Now this is your main waveguide, main rectangular waveguide. We are cutting this main rectangular waveguide along its broader dimensions, and we are inserting port 3 into it, right? And we are inserting, this is also one rectangular waveguide, this is also another rectangular waveguide. This is the main waveguide. For the main waveguide, we are making a slot along its broader dimension, and we are inserting port 3 into it. And this is the structure of your E-plane T junction. And here also port 1 and port 2 are collinear to each other. And port 3 we call it as EM, right? Port 3 we call it as EM. Now all these 3 ports lie in the plane of electric field line. That's why it is called voltage junction also. There it will lie in the plane of magnetic field. That's why it is called current junction under H plane T. But here this will lie in the field of electric, in the plane of electric field line. Now that's why it is called voltage junction, right? Now coming to its structure, right, this is your main rectangular waveguide. To this main rectangular waveguide, we are making a slot along its broader dimensions, and we are inserting port 3 into it, right? Port 1 and port 2 are collinear to each other, and port 3 is your EM, right? Now all these 3 ports lie in the plane of electric field. Now that's why it is called voltage junction. Now this is about the structure of E-plane T. Now coming to its property, now coming to its property, you have 3 ports, right? Now if I give input power from port 1 and port 2, if I give input power from port 1 and port 2, say amount of power as A and amount of power as A. Now what is output at port 3? A minus A, that you will get it as 0, right? Now what its property is, if I give input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, right? If I give input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, that results no output power from port 3. That results no output power from port 3. Now why? Because of that property. See, this is your port 3, port 1 and port 2. Now the electric field lines changes their direction. Now as shown in the figure, now the electric field line changes their direction. Now because of this change in the direction of electric fields only, now that's why that results no output power from port 3, right? Now this is power division property. Now coming to another property, now if I give input power from port 3, now let us assume A, you are giving some amount of power, input power as A from port 3. Now output is minus A by 2, minus A by 2 you will get, right? Now if I give input power from port 3, output is collected from port 1 and port 2, which are out of phase by 180 degrees. Here you will get A by 2, here you will get minus A by 2. Why? Because the electric field lines changes there. This is the structure of electric field lines in E-plane T. Now because of this change in the electric field line direction, there will be a 180 degrees phase shift at your port 2, right? Now because of this change in electric field lines at port 2, that results no output at port 3, right? Now let me briefly explain. Now when I give input power from port 3, when I give input power from port 3, output is collected at port 1 and port 2, which are out of phase by 180 degrees. If I give some amount of power A from port 3, output at port 1 will be A by 2 and output at port 2 will be minus A by 2, which are out of phase by equal in magnitude but out of phase by 180 degrees, right? If I give input power from port 3, output you will get from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude but out of phase by 180 degrees. Whereas under H plane T there won't be any phase shift, right? Now why you will get a phase shift? Because change in the electric field line directions at your port. This is the structure of electric field lines in your E plane T. Now because of this change in the electric field line direction, there will be a 180 degrees phase shift at your port, right? Now coming to another, if I give input power from port 1 and port 2, right? Here I am giving a and here I am giving a. Now because of the change in the electric field and direction, you will get minus a, 180 degrees phase shift, you will get minus a and plus a, right? Output at port 3 will be a minus a, because change in the electric field and direction, plus a, output will be 0, right? If I give when input is given from port 3, the output comes from port 1 and port 2, right? The output comes from port 1 and port 2. If I give input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, now that results no output power from port 3. Because of this change in the field direction, there will be a 180 degrees phase shift, right? Now this is about your H plane T junction, right? Now if I give input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, there won't be any output at port 3, will be difference of those two input powers. Why difference? Because of this change in the 180 degrees phase shift, right? Now if I give input power from port 3, output is collected at port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude but out of phase by 180 degrees. Why you will get 180 degrees? Because of this change in the electric field line direction. Now this is about the structure of E plane T and its property. Now let us find its scattering matrix, right? Now let us find its scattering matrix. Now how many ports it contains? 3 ports, right? Now what is the order of S? 3 by 3. It contains 3 ports. Order of S will be 3 by 3. Now S is nothing but S11, S12, S13 and S21, S22, S23, S31, S32, S33. Now this is your S matrix for your E plane T junction. It contains 3 ports. It contains 3 ports. Order of S will be n by. If it contains 4 ports, order of S will be 4 by 4, right? Now this is your S matrix. Now what is first property of S matrix? Symmetric matrix. S is a symmetric matrix. Same procedure, right? Same procedure you have to follow what I have said under H plane T junction. Only E plane T property will vary. Same procedure, same derivation you have to do it in order to find the values of individual scattering parameters, right? Now coming to symmetric matrix, S is a symmetric matrix, that is Sij equals to Sji, that is S12 equals to S21 and S13 equals to S31 and S32 equals to S23, right? S32 equals to S23, right? Now S is a symmetric matrix, that is Sij equals to Sji. You will get this values, right? Now what is E plane T property? Now we have to say this S3. If I give input power from port 3, now where you will get output power? Port 1 and port 2, right? If I give input power from port 3, output is collected at port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude but out of phase by 180 degrees, right? That's why S13 equals to minus S23. Input given from port 3, output is collected at port 2 and port 1, which are equal in magnitude but out of phase by 180 degrees. That's why S13 equals to minus S23, right? Now port 3 is perfectly matched. That means you won't get, if I give input power from port 3, you won't get any output power from port 3. that there will be no reflections, that's why S33 is 0, right? Now substituting all these values in this S matrix, substituting all these values in the S matrix, and I am writing final S matrix. Now what is S11? Same. S12 is also same. S13 is also same, right? Now what is S21? S21 equals to S12 from symmetric property, and S22 same. S22 remains the same, and S23 equals to S13, right? S23 equals to minus S13 or same thing, right? Now what is the value of S23? Minus S13 from E-plenty property. Now we have S31 here. Now S31 equals to S13 from symmetric property, right? Now you have S32 here. S32 equals to S23, right? From symmetric property, S32 equals to S23, and this S23 equals to minus S13 from E-plenty property. Both property, symmetric property and E-plenty property, and port 3 is perfectly matched. S33 is 0. Only this value you have to use two properties. S32 equals to S23, right? Now what is S23? S23 equals to minus S13, right? Now this is the final S matrix, right? Now this is the final S matrix. Now what is another property of S matrix? S is a unitary mat, that is S into S conjugate, that is equals to I, right? S into S conjugate, that is equals to I. Now substitute S matrix, what we have derived? This one, right? Now what is S matrix after substitution of all the properties? S11, S12, S13, S12, S22 minus S13, S13 minus S13, 0, right? Now into its conjugate, that is S11 conjugate, S12 conjugate, S13 conjugate, S12 conjugate, S22 conjugate minus S13 conjugate, S13 conjugate minus S13 conjugate, 0, right? Now S into S conjugate, this is equals to identity matrix of order 3 by 3, 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, right? Now same procedure. Now multiply R1 C1, right? Now if I multiply R1 C1, what you will get? Mod S11 square plus mod S12 square plus mod S13 square, this is equals to 1, right? Mod S11 square plus mod S12 square plus mod S13 square, that is equals to 1, right? Now represent it as equation number 1, right? Now similarly row 2 with column 2, right? Row 2 with column 2, that is row 2 with column 2, right? That is mod S12 square plus mod S22 square plus mod S13 square, that is equals to 1. Now represent it as equation number 2. Now similarly row 3 with column 3, right? Row 3 with column 3, this is your row 3 and this is your column 3. If I multiply mod S13 square plus mod S13 square, and that is equals to 1. Now from this equation you can find out S13 value, that is 2 times of S13 square equals to 1. Now this implies S13 equals to 1 by root 2. We got one scattering parameter value, that is S13. Now that is nothing but 1 by root 2, right? That is nothing but 1 by root 2, right? And next we have to find out remaining scattering parameters value, right? Now compare equation 1 and 2. Now this is your equation number 1 and this is your equation number 2. S12 square and S13 square equals to 1, right? Now what are equal? S11 equals to S22. Now if I compare equation 1 and 2, you will get S11 equals to S22, right? Now multiply row 3 with column 1, row 3 with column 1, right? That is S13 into S11 conjugate minus S13 into S12 conjugate, that is equals to 0. Now if I multiply row 3 with column, S13 into S11 conjugate minus S13 into S12 conjugate, that is equals to 0, right? Now from this expression, S13 into S11 conjugate minus S12 conjugate equals to 0, right? Anyhow, S13 value we have derived, that is 1 by root 2, that can't be equals to 0. Now S11 conjugate minus S12 conjugate equals to 0. Now what you will get? Now from this expression you will get S11 conjugate equals to S12 conjugate. Now this implies S11 equals to S12. Now represent this as equation number 4 and this as equation number 5, right? Now represent this as equation number 4 and this as equation number 5, right? Now what you have to do, substitute equation 5, right? You have to do is substitute equation 5 in equation 1. Now you have, what you have to do is substitute equation 5 in equation 1. Now what is equation 1? Mod S11 square plus mod S12 square plus mod S13 square, this is equals to 1. This is your equation number 5 and equation number 1, and equation number 5 is S11 equals to S12, right? Now substitute equation 5 in equation 1, right? Now mod S11 square, now S11 equals to S12 or S12 equals to S11, right? Mod S11 square, S12 equals to S11, that's why I substituted S11 square. Now what is S13 value? 1 by root 2, right? S13 is nothing but 1 by root 2. Now 1 by root 2 square, you will get half. Now this is equals to 1. Now 2 times of mod S11 square, this is equals to half. Now from this S11 you will get it as half, right? Now S11 we got it as half and S11 equals to S12. Now this is your equation number 5, right? Now that's why you will get S12 as also half. Now S22 equals to S11 on comparison of equation 1 with the 2, you will get S22 equals to S11. Now what is S22 value? Half, right? Now if I substitute all the scattering parameters, final matrix I am writing. Now what you have first? S11 you have S12, you have S13 and S12, S22 minus S13, S13 minus S13, 0. This is the matrix after substitution of all the properties. Now I am writing the matrix after finding all S parameters. Now what is S11? Half, right? Now what is S12? Half, right? Now what is S13? 1 by root 2. Now what is S12? Half. S22 is also half. Now what is S13? Minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2, 0. Now this is the scattering matrix of E-plane T junction, right? Now this is the scattering matrix of E-plane T junction. Now let us prove its properties, power division property and power combination property, right? Now what is, now we know that B equals to SA, right? We know that B equals to SA. Now B is nothing but reflected or output powers. How many output powers? Power at port 1, power at port 2 and power at output power at port 1, port 2 and port 3. Now this S is your scattering matrix. Now similarly input power at port 1, input power at port 2 and input power at port 3. Now let us represent that. Now input power at port 1, input power at port 2 and input power at port 3, and this is equal to scattering matrix, that is half half 1 by root 2, half half minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2, 0 into A matrix, input power at port 1, input power at port 1, input power at port 2 and input power at port 3, right? Just I am representing the reflected power at port 1, port 2 and port 3. S matrix we have derived till now. Input power at port 1, port 2 and port 3, right? Now if I multiply S with A, now B1 is nothing but A1 by 2 plus A2 by 2 plus A3 by root 2, right? B1 is nothing but A1 by 2 plus A2 by 2 plus A3 by root 2. Now what is B2? B2 is nothing but A1 by 2 plus A2 by 2 minus A3 by root 2. Now what is B3? A1 by root 2 minus A2 by root 2. Right? After multiplication of S with A, now these are the B1 values: reflected power at port 1, reflected power at port 2, reflected or output power at port 3. Right? Now consider case 1. Right? Consider case 1 where you are giving input power from port 1 and port 2 only. You are giving input power from port 1 and port 2 only. That means A1 equals to A2 equals to A and A3 is 0. You are giving input power from port 1 and input power from port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase. No input power from port 3. Right? Now what is B1 value? B1 value is A by 2 plus A by 2, and B2 value is A by 2 plus A by 2, and B3 value is 0. Right? Now first property is proved. If I give input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, the output power will be subtraction of those two input powers, right? That results no output power from port 3. Right? Now the first property is proved. Now coming to case 2, now input power from port 3 only, input power from port 3 only, that is A3 equals to A and A1 equals to A2 equals to 0. You are giving input power from port 3 only and you are not giving any input power from port 1 and port 2, that's why it is 0. Now what is B1 value? A by root 2, and B2 value is minus A by root 2, and B3 is 0. Right? Now if I give input power from port 3, output is collected at port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude but out of phase by 180 degrees. Why this out of phase? Because of the change in the change in the electric field line direction. Right? As I have explained, right? Because of this change in the electric field line's direction, because of this change in the electric field line direction, this results a 180 degrees phase shift at port 2. Right? Now let me briefly explain its property. If I give input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, that results no output power from port 3. Right? Now if I give input power from port 3, that results output power from port 1 and port 2, which are out of phase by 180 degrees. Input power from port 1 and port 2, which are equal in magnitude and phase, results no output power from port 3. Input power from port 3, right, results output power from port 1 and port 2, which are out of phase by 180 degrees because of change in the electric field lines. Right? Now this is about the E-plane T junction, and now in the next class we will see about EH plane T junction. Right?